We came from the infinite universe. We arrived on this planet. And here, from here, we have to return. So, in this journey down, we went through a whole process. And then from here, we have to release that process. And so, the first part of the process is we have to eat, to have that memory. And by that memory that we release, we return. But then, to release that memory, we have to eat first, and that is in a very small cycle. And then we enter a bigger cycle, and a bigger cycle, and then in the infinite, without beginning nor end. Now on this planet, we managed to create a way of life based on science that examines food in a very small sense through a microscope, like proteins, vitamins, enzymes, minerals, and so on. So that's how most people relate to food. But accordingly, they tie in a very small cycle. Right? So the way of eating, and many diets are based on that, is not only really liberating us back to where we came from. That is one way of eating. The so-called nutritional approach, the scientific way of eating. Then the next cycle is eating according to the environment locally. So we have to consider the seasons in that particular location. So you enter a bigger cycle, and it includes more traditional way of eating, organic way of eating, that means locally. So you enter this bigger cycle. Then you can also consider the global cycle, that means much greater, and for that you have to apply a different principle. So the principle then is based on the global social aspect, and including sharing, but then you need to know how to adjust yourself to different locations. So you need to apply more the natural principles, natural law. But then a much greater cycle, the cycle of the universe, and we are part of that universe, actually the universe within us. And so when we eat accordingly, we increase our sense of being or freedom. So for that we need to apply the universal cycle principle also. And that is based on polarity. Today it's known as a way of eating based on macrobiotics. That's not a diet, but more a principle of how to restore our relationship with the universal cycle based on great polarity like heaven and earth. But then we have another cycle, and that cycle has no beginning, no end. It's the infinite. And for that we need to apply the same law that connects us with the universe, but then there is no condition. And for that we have to be able to change, because change is the law of creation, change everything back into the infinite. And so that is that unconditional, we call this freedom, or some people call it love. So, but we have to begin by increasing our way of eating in a bigger cycle. Now, to bring us to this earth, we need water. And that's why we are contained in water in mother's womb, where the spirit is contained temporarily in preparation for the ascension. But then, after that, we need the releasing energy, and that is our catalyst or element, and that is fire. right? So fire was given to the human for the reason that we have to live up to our responsibility uh, to change the physical back into the most subtle, the spiritual and beyond. And so for that reason, we have been given fire. So only the human can enter the biggest possible cycle. And so that fire we have applied to the way of cooking. So when we cook, right, we put the food here in this cauldron, in this pot or pan, then that fire is introduced in our food and we enter, a bigger cycle because of the release of the memory. See, the memory now is contained by water, and by the dematerialization we can enter a bigger cycle. So cooking is very, very important. And so whoever controls our food but also our fire, so we don't have business to use a fire that contains us to the earth, that retains us to this physical level. That is electricity, microwave, but we need fire that comes from the heavens, that is received by the earth, and then it is released in the form of a flame, called this fire. So we have to know how to use fire, and only humans can do that. So 3 cycles, 4 cycles, right, of liberation. First the very materialistic, scientific today, nutrition, but then we have the cycle of the location, traditional food, and then we have more natural food, global, universal, and then the infinite. There's no beginning, no end. So that is what we have to understand and apply. So let's find out how humanity is eating today. We will visit a supermarket first, and then after that we will visit a natural food store. Okay? Enjoy. We are here in Flagstaff, Arizona, very close to Hopiland. Here we are, and what we will do with this video, we will investigate what a supermarket is all about. Here at Safeway, and let's go inside and see what's happening inside. Oh, we will welcome with Pepsi. Now you see here the 2 cycles. This is one cycle, this is the other cycle, and they're contrasting. This one here is cycle of creation, okay? And we are part of creation. And what happened is, we begin here from the source, science calls the Big Bang, and we arrive on this planet and have here an experience, and for the gaining of consciousness, and ultimately the consciousness of who we are. We call this freedom, I am. And here, through evolution, we are prepared, and finally we are able to internalize that memory so that we can remember, we can return. So this is so-called evolution, through the birthing process, conception, and so on. But here, the kitchen, you see, is where the food is controlled in such a way that we can release the memory, and when that memory is released from within, we can remember and come back. But what happened is here is our food had been intercepted, right, through the industry, through the corporations and so on. And to do this, they're part of the plan, you would say. These are the 2 extreme worlds. And so the plan is of this industrial world to keep us locked in an artificial universe so we cannot come back. So this is called the trap, the prison. So by the refining of the food, which locks us out from the internal refining process, so they are here in a mental loop, and that's it is today. So mentally, also we are controlled through the satellite system. We are locked. This is the prison. This is the trap. And so the liberation from this trap is to be again in control of our food. It was before the kitchen. So before the Inquisition, the kitchen was a center of government. And so it was the first church, the first hospital, the first laboratory of alchemy, the first school, and the first center of economy. Every home had their own bank. It was the whole grain. And the grain contains a total memory, and we are able to release the memory, we are able to remember and come back. So our body is creation in the human form. Here, in this order, I try to, okay, shopping cart. Here, in this prison, we try to redesign the human in the image of an inferior God, false God. And it's very obvious. The replacement of organs, redesign of kidneys, like the kidney machine, the heart, the brain, and so on. Especially the replacement of the womb, because here is where we are created on physical plane, and women was the main target of the Inquisition. Over 10 million women were burned or born alive in public. Inquisition has not ended, it's still on. So these two sides are needed, according to the plan, to create a portal. And the plan that brought us to this planet is to make this earth a portal of peace. So you need two sides. You cannot create a portal with one side. So we have managed, all of us, either directly or indirectly in different lifetimes, to create the contrasting side with creation. But now what had to happen is creation and anti-creation, that means the mind and the heart, had to be unified. And how do you unify it? The only way to do it is to connect the heart and the mind by blood, because blood connects these two inner opposites. So we can change the world from within by unifying the mind and the blood. But for that reason, we have to restore the whole grain primarily as our main food, and we have to delete all the foods that keep us in the trap. So we are going to the supermarket to find out what actually is here available of real food, whatever is left, or something that can close to it, so that we can change the control from here, because the control is more health in the outside, we can control from inside. At the time of before the Inquisition, we had the control, it was the kitchen, we had the control inside. And by the Inquisition, Roma, change happened. Now is the time to do this. Okay? So here is another example of control. With this quality, where we have control of the kitchen, we are able to return with the same force that brought us in and to come back. Let's say, when we have this power within, that memory, we can, with that power that brought us to the planet, we can come back, you see? But when we have the quality of no memory, the blood, poor, because of poor food, we cannot come back. No. That's both impediments and the trap. So we can change this blood quality, this blood quality. Right? So we can return the full cycle. Okay? So, right? change the country. You know, coming here in the supermarket, people don't realize while they're shopping the cart, filling it up, get a lot of stuff, Coca-Cola, toilet paper, all kind of junk, they actually walk over dead bodies. Every year, at least 100,000 people die to keep up consumerism. They die of starvation, they die of experimentation, disease, and even ritual murder, massacres, wars, and so on. So, okay, I just noticed here, Uncle Ben, you know, every year in India, 10,000 farmers commit suicide because they cannot sell the products, they don't know how to pay the bills, and they have become landless. But Uncle Ben tries well, Uncle Sam, okay? They sell this rice, pre-boiled and so on, almost no nutrition. But meanwhile, many people die and suffer, only in India, but all around the world. At least 100,000 people die to keep up consumerism. So realize that when we push our cars here, we walk over dead bodies, okay? So this is about realizing what consumerism does to ourselves and the whole world and so on. Okay? So, thank you very much. First of all, you see we are welcome here with fruits. And fruits like this. We have a fruit and we have a seed. And the seed holds a memory. And people don't need the seeds. And even many fruits that do grow without seeds. So with the seed, you cannot continue. Because the seed has the memory. And more people are tricked into buying a lot of fruits, more than normal. Right? So, goodbye. More fruits. And these fruits are not even in season. Now, the law of creation, the law of the creator, is change. And the change, you're free. There's no limit. You are unconditional. And the seasons are there for us to be able to change. And when we eat fruits that are out of season, all year round the same food, you cannot change. Right? That's the word anti-creation. You cannot change. You're fixed. You're fixed. That's the eight simple fixed. See? So all these fruits here, they're out of season. Let's look here. All fruits out of season here. And they cut it so it oxidizes very easy and the nutritional values are gone. So many fruits. This is not in season. Here, avocados. It's not part of the environment. So you eat the food to harmonize the environment, the outside and the inside. That's why you eat. So how can you harmonize in this climate without the food from the tropics, sub-areas? Tomatoes, they're not in season. It's winter time now. It's winter time. At best of all the fruits, maybe the apples that are growing in this location. Here, this is not in season. It's winter time. Right? They're growing in the hot houses or imported from who knows where. sprouted foods. These are foods that you can eat when you want to cool the body. Cooling foods, sprouts. Cooling in winter time, come on. Well, carrots is kind of winter food, not the baby carrots, but they grown in a hot house. This is not in season. This is not in season. Kind of okay. Carrots are in season. Okay, good buy radish, not really. This is not in season. This is not in season. Cabbage is kind of winter food. You can keep it in summer. Cucumber makes it very cold. This is not in season. No business to eat cucumbers. You cannot eat it in winter time. These are zucchinis. Baby called zucchinis, not mature. When you mature, it becomes a zucchini like this. Right? And you can keep it in winter time. This is summer. It grows in maybe spring. Same thing with this. This makes you cold. This makes you cool you off. All of this are not in season. This is very good for liver, but it's not in season. Okay? This is a lot of potassium. Makes it very cool, especially when you have cancer and you eat this. You get more of it. Potatoes. Well, the potatoes became imported about 200 years ago to replace the whole grain. Because this whole grain has no memory. So maybe in 2-3 months it's rotted. The whole grain, the wholesale grain, you can keep it in the house 10,000 years or longer. It has a memory, you can continue. Okay? That's the food of humanity. This is all Inquisition food, Inquisition. Carrots okay. This one, we have weak kidneys, better not. Right? Always good to provoke urination. Now, many people are now eating broccoli. Broccoli is this flower, then broccoli plant is that big. And it's all reduced to this. It's a waste. It's very unecological. It's the weakest food of the plant is the flower. Expansion. It weakens your kidneys, your lungs. Right? That's nice, but it's not really good for your health. This is the worst food you can eat. Or they can say, oh, there's a lot of vitamins, but the nature of this, right? You don't explain the nature of this. No way. This is also a flower. It's not a food that is powerful. This one, so-so. Chinese cabbage, you can still continue growing it, but you have to put it on the straw in winter time, and you can make a good dish. Okay, you buy this. This is a winter food. This processed sprouts. You can eat this. This is a winter food. The roots. Right? Now this is actually winter food. This is kale. Kale. See, wrinkle kale. It's really good. So this is a food. Collard greens, can eat this. Now this is good for winter time. Right? It's also good for your kidneys. Like leeks. This one, so cabbage we already got here. So let's see what I have here. Now this actually is tropical, it doesn't grow here. Sometimes for pleasure food you can have it. It's okay, you know. Let's say you want to make something dessert or so. Alright. Now there's here onions. Yeah, you can have onions, all kind of onions. Pumpkins and squashes in winter time is excellent. It's an excellent winter food. And now this one is ridiculous. This comes from Hawaii. It's very acid food, very dangerous, especially for pregnant women. Pregnant women, when they eat this, they can create great harm to the fetus. The baby can even born blind. Very sharp, very acid. No business selling it here. Same as mangoes. Kiwis, it's okay. You can have some kiwi. Come on, this is cooling food. That's why it grows in summertime. In wintertime, no way. Right? Cantaloupes. Come on, bananas in the tropics. You know, the human body chemical, most important chemical composition is sodium and potassium. And our body should have 1 sodium, 5 potassium to keep the nervous system in balance. 1 to 5. You find basically in grains. Now, when you eat potatoes, it's 1 sodium, 200 potassium. Okay? Now, bananas, guess what? 1 sodium, 800 potassium. Right? So, when you eat this, your nervous system completely get out of balance, but also physically, it affects us physically. Okay? People who have cancer, especially, or diabetes, no way, you don't want to eat this. Fruits. The fruit mafia. Also, plenty of juices, of course, more fruit. The problem is, when you have a juice with the absence of the fiber, see, the energy will not come all the way to this point. I mean, the blood that you create has to come from here, in the ocean. When you have too many juices, sometimes you have a splash of food on. It goes straight from the stomach into your blood. So you create a blood that is not coming from the inner ocean. Our blood and the ocean have the same mineral composition, the same pH of salinity. The reason why we can live on land because we carry the ocean in us. So when you pollute the ocean within, what happens is you have to regress. This is a degenerative disease. It's what cancer and diabetes and so on is about. It's a regression back into the ocean. The first symptom of that regression is whole back blocked. Become again a monkey, an amphibian, back to the ocean. Okay? And right, expansion of the belly, which is the ocean expands, they're going back. So especially in America, people are like this. Right? They carry the ocean within themselves more and more and more, and eventually go back to the ocean. But we are a microcosm of creation. We should be able to condense the entire ocean, also the whole universe within ourselves. So when this is expanding, that means you are regressing. You are going back to evolution. Also mentally, because the intestines and the brain are complementary. So when this degenerates or go back, also your mind regresses. People think very primitive. Animals. Now sometimes you want to have pleasure food. We have dried fruit, raisins, but of course, without chemicals. But let's say we want to make a nice pancake with raisins, buy it. Okay? Ham, meat, right? Yeah, when you live in a certain environment like Alaska, Siberia and so on, you have to adjust to the environment. The animals are helping us, but we have to know how to eat meat. We have to, first of all, respect the animal. We pray. It's a contract. We make an agreement with the animal. It's a necessity. The animals are helping us to survive, and we have to know how to eat the animal. You respect the whole animal, including the organs, the blood, the skin, the hooves, the horns, everything. Right? It's about survival. But here, with an abundance of grains, vegetables, beans, everything, you can survive without this. Besides, the way it has been prepared, the animals have been growing, and the way people prepare it, that has to be understood, has to be respected. But the animals here are cruelly treated, and all the cruelty goes in us, they inherit us, they express the truth. There's no need for that. Plus, you see, normally when we eat even good food, there are always waste residues that we are able to eliminate normally through the kidneys, through the defecation, through sweating, breathing, and so on. But when we eat meat, we create more waste products than the body can handle. And so you get an overload of waste. And unless you really work very hard, sweat it all, and now we have comforts, electricity, car, here, and contain it. And then the body creates stagnations, tumors, cysts, arthritis. What is overweight? It's called obesity. It's unused food, undigested food, unused love. Because all food, everything is created with love. And by change, that is what love is for, we refine the food, for feelings, thinking, creation, and so on. If you don't use it, you get stuck. That's what obesity is. You get stuck with unused love. How can you give this to your kid? Right? When you are so cruel to the animals. And the freezing, the cooling of the body, creating more stagnation in the body, not only poison, but freezing it in your body. And the candies, right? So when we have sugar, same thing as alcohol, and the juices, goes into your blood, you don't get a complete digestive process. And that bypassing of this small intestine, it creates a blood condition that cannot come all the way into your body. We call this diabetes. So ultimately they get infections, amputate your legs, as the blood go to the brain, you get blood. We call this diabetes. Creating diabetes. It's all here, it's all around us. Diabetes, all diabetes. See, people don't know how to cook anymore. They have all kind of stuffing, gravy, but they don't know how to cook. And the chemicals, everything. I cannot see anything here that you can safely use. Well, let's see, there might be something that can be good. Cooling food, tomatoes. There's something here. Maybe some tamari, soy sauce, but without chemicals, without sugar. This can be used, it's okay. But everything else, some spices can be used sometimes. Maybe some laurel leaves. Right?
Yes. When you have a leftover.
Some spices you can use. Actually, you can do without it. Maybe a candle, right? Oh, yeah. Now, providing they're not genetically manipulated, okay? You can buy some of the spaghettis, right? Like whole wheat. With flour products, unless the flour, the grains are milled directly before the process. If you have flour and you can't keep it, and you keep it too long, it starts to oxidize. So within 2-3 days, already 10% is gone. Some flours are old, 3 months, 1 year, I don't know how old. So yeah, you can fill your stomach, but besides the chemicals that they put in there and so on. Otherwise, and everything has sugar. Everything is sugar. Preservatives, artificial coloring, and so on. Chips. Now, of all the chips, sometimes I eat it. I choose this Oreo Fritos, but the salt that they put in there is refined. The oil is not too good, but it's a pleasure food. Okay. Now today I don't want to get into it. Okay. Sometimes pleasure food. People don't know how to cook. They have this on the bread and eat it, and everything okay. Canned food. Sugar. Lot of sugar. Pickles. They used to be good, but now also they put a lot of chemicals in there. But you have two types of pickles. You have the pickles that is for the meat eater, it's more with vinegar, and you have pickles that's more good for the vegetarian. It's salted pickles. So different. I don't see any salted pickles except this one. This may be alright, providing they don't put deadly chemicals in here. But this may be alright. Canned vegetables, people don't know how to cook. Open a can, put it in the microwave. Now this one, sauerkraut, again providing there are no chemicals in there, can be eaten. It's good for the digestive process. You can do that. Pickles. These are salted pickles. But here you have maybe the best section. At least you have whole grains here. not white rice, okay, and not white flour, but whole brown rice. I don't see, oh, I see here, this brown rice again, but I don't know if it is genetically manipulated. But among all the grain, all food seed grains, there's another grain, pure barley, but it had been polished, but this is alright. Okay. So, and beans, all, again, providing they are not manipulated, the different kind of beans, peas, some vinegar, some good quality vinegar. You may rice vinegar. This one is okay. Rice vinegar is the best. For all vinegars, this is the best. You have pre-cooked rice, flavored rice. Again, for lazy people, people don't know how to cook, but not really the best quality. So this may be the best section of the entire supermarket. This will be the best section. Otherwise, let's continue and see what they have. Meat. Okay, sometimes I buy some sardines. It's okay. Some salmon if you want. The fish section. This is optional. It's not a must, it's optional. Canned meat, meat. Well, we have here wrappings. Plastic. Oh. Teflon. You know what happens when this Teflon goes into your system? Non-stick, especially when it goes in your brain, you get a non-stick brain. You cannot remember. Mental problems. Don't buy aluminum, don't buy Teflon. Out. Go in the trash can. All refined, no memory. They take the seeds out. Refined flour. Refine. Cake mixes, plenty of sugar. People don't know how to make the cakes anymore from scratch. Consumerism. People don't create anymore. They cannot cook. They can recreate themselves from within. This is worse. The marshmallow. Chemicals. Is there some maple syrup here? No. I mean, it's very expensive. But everything is just chemicals. All natural table syrup. It's not, it's only sugar, it's not really maple syrup. Pure maple syrup. Okay, this is alright. Is this area pure maple syrup? Oh, this. But it looks like expensive. That's why it's so expensive, because it's pure. But everything here, anti-melon, original, it's all sugar. Now you can use oil here, good quality oil, and extra virgin oil, but you don't cook with this. You have to put it straight on your grains or in your salads. Right? Now, among all these other oils, I don't even use canola oil. Canola oil comes from the rape seeds, mustard, and it became popular afterwards, after the First World War, because before the mustard was used to gas, to kill people, to kill soldiers. Yeah? Mustard gas, and they grew a lot of mustard. But afterwards, war is over. What do you do with all this? And meanwhile, they have people want to continue making money with mustard. See? So, let's make some oil with that. Okay? But that oil is very harmful for
You
the
do in the
system.
smaller sizes, but
Mustard, yeah? Mustard gas, canola oil.
right,
out.
but I mean, you do
Don't buy
carry
it.
it in the smaller sizes, but not the large one. That's
Corn
So
oil.
you're substituting anyone?
Uh, Best is
Star brand?
cold press, but
Okay, then.
commercial one also has been manipulated in the way of preparation. It's
Thanks
not
a
the
lot,
best
Chad.
quality.
Okay, thank you.
But if you want to use it for deep frying of all this oil instead of canola oil, right? You can buy the corn oil. Okay? You always do the best you can at this point. So even when you have to choose the best from the worst, do it. Use your judgment. Use your discernment.
Code 5, please. New code 5.
Palm, butter flavor. It's not butter, and people are lazy to spread it. So you have to spray this butter, fake butter, on your pan. Crisco, this is the worst, right? That really keep your system. Well, they have different flavors, we don't have spices. It's optional, whatever you need, you can get it. Peanut butter. For men, especially if they want to have contribute to prostate cancer and so on, have peanut butter. But also a lot of sugar. You see a little honey here? No, all sugar. And it's sugar-free. Yeah, sugar-free, but they put aspartame in it. It's even worse. Artificial sugar, artificial sweetener, even worse. Right? But honey, that is sometimes also they put sugar in the honey, or they give sugar to the bees. So they're different quality of honey. So make your choice. If you want to have honey, be discerning. Go for quality and don't have too much. Simple sugar, including honey, will bypass your intestines. It goes straight into your bloodstream and it makes you more mental. Like acid blood. But sometimes you want to have honey, get some, and maybe I'll today have this clover honey. People want to have nice ecological drinks, natural drinks. You may have some of this, kind of expensive. Rice dream, soy milk. Soy milk cools the body. Too much of this can be harmful. So many people want to replace milk with soy milk. And they say, oh, there's a lot of calcium, but it cools the body. Okay? Plus lately they put a lot of additives to it. But you can make your own drinks. If you have rice, like brown rice, leftovers, cook it with more water, blend it, make it very soft, put some sea salt in it, and flavoring, maybe some honey, and you have your rice drink. right? Much better, and the fiber is included. So this one is a pleasure drink. You can have it some, okay? So after this, I'm going to have a party, okay? The tea section. Yeah, coffee is nice, but realize that coffee is a stimulant. So you rely too much on coffee for your circulation, especially in the morning. It takes it over, and in the end you lose, okay? So it's a pleasure drink. Also, it's a medicine. They say it's good for your liver, but you take a medicine when you're sick. When you take medicine when you're not sick, you become sick. Okay? So be careful with coffee. Okay? Don't drink it in the morning. In the morning you have to start boost up your own system. But when you start with coffee, you become a loser. A lot of coffee. But also coffee has a history of a lot of violence. Right? Entire tribes have been wiped out, the land be taken away to grow coffee. And then later they work on it. Slaves. This one, don't even think about it. Don't use it. Lazy people in the morning. Drink with milk, having a lot of sugar. Man, this is extreme food of consumerism, and children are educated this way. Right? Look at this. They put all these figures on it, images on it, for children to be, to like it psychologically. Well, sometimes you can have teas, but again, you have so many teas, and tea originally is used as a medicine. It's like an herb. So don't just go for the flavor. Know what you are drinking, what you are eating. Green tea is more like, makes you more peaceful, but also it's a stimulant in the organ is used. But green tea, don't put sugar in it. Okay? Tea, have a tea. Why do you put sugar in it? Quick. Everything quick food. A lot of sugar. You say, oh, it's not white sugar, it's brown sugar. Well, it's white sugar with some brown coloring in it. Right? It becomes brown sugar. Maple and brown sugar. It's not maple flavor. It's not maple syrup. So don't get tricked, see, by, and these companies, they are licensed to lie. You cannot trust them. Okay, smart water. Be smart yourself. Water. How you have to trust, that water comes from a reliable source. I mean, for a good source. But water, when it is not moving for 10 days, it becomes a poison. Especially when you put in the refrigerator and it's iodized, deposit of ions, and it becomes a poison. So there are no chemicals, but the quality, because it has been handled, makes it poisonous. If you want to have a juice, the best juice that you can get is apple juice. But again, it comes from concentrate. It is not really the highest quality. But if you want to use it, sometimes you want to drink. I'm fond of apple juice. You can heat it up. Always put a little bit salt in there to make it more alkaline. So this is a pleasure food, and this occasionally, that's optional, you can do it. And then we have here so-called diet. Every time when you say diet, that means they probably use no sugar, but a lot of other chemicals, artificial sweetener, aspartame, and so on. It's worse. grapefruit juice, sometimes in certain therapies, you need that. And like a liver cleanse, that's optional, right? But it's only a therapy, it's not a normal drink. Then you have all this kind of so-called people think it's healthy because it's vegetable, but again it's a juice. So you need to digest the food all the way here to your womb area where you are born, where you begin with the heart, and that is your small intestine. And you bypass it too often, too much, then of course by bypassing it, you become sort of an eating head. See? That is diabetes. Diabetes is not an isolated disease. All kind of degenerative diseases begins with this so-called diabetes, including mental problems. Diabetes, backaches. This should be normally coming from your tap or from your well, but it's now the water industry. It's owned by the same people, and they control humanity's blood quality. Our blood is 80% water, so you control water, the food, the salt, on top of the sea salt. See? You control humanity because by your blood you are able to function, to feel, to have emotions, to think, to make choices. So whoever controls our blood, who controls our food, controls our blood, controls everything. So this is a control center, the supermarket, control center. Look, all these meat products. PepsiCo, all kind of poisons, right? To control the blood quality. 0 calories, right? But aspartame, and they become bigger and bigger and bigger. And before there was small bottles, but now big, and the people also become big. This is blood control, blood control. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. Everyone, Coca-Cola. The whole world. Coca-Cola, Diet Cola, it's the worst. 0 Cola, it's also even much more worse. Look up in the internet what they say about Coca-Cola. Dr. Pepper, same thing. Candy, chips, pleasure, give it to your kids. See? So what happens is people eat this and they don't have appetite for normal food. See? All day chipping, munching. All kind of pleasure. Consumerism. Don't create. Get fatter. Whole aisle loaded with foods that you don't need. Occasionally you can have some, but there are more aisles here dedicated to non-food than in foods. There should be a small section. It's a major section. Major. Okay. Then, to let people say, oh, it's okay. Mine's Valentine. I'll give you a candy. I'll give you a heart. And, pretend you're happy. Pretend you're happy when you're blue. This is what it is. Pretend you're happy when you're blue. Fake, funny, fake, you feel. Birthday. Birthday what? You're born, you die, unhappy. And what kind of education right here in supermarket, right? This man looks super. By the time he's 50, he's like this, right? Superman, right? Superman. By the time he's 40, 50, right? He's ugly. That's fast. Same thing with ladies. Baby food. Ah, baby food. Oh, this is worse. This is really worse. Keep people baby meat. All kind of junk. This is how you start your life. Baby. The worst. This is criminal food. This is criminal food. Criminal. Program already from the beginning. All this kind of thing. Oatmeal durable, sugar in there, chemicals. Next to the chemicals, smell it. Can you smell the chemicals? Then chemicals in the mouth, chemicals in your butt. Okay? For women, this is worse, right? All chemicals. Invasion. Invade the woman with all these chemicals. And then replace a womb. And then to combine it all, you have the food market and then you have the pharmacy. Right? Good combination. Good business.
Sure, if you know a couple of them.
Then of course with all this food you eat, you become smelly. Deodorant, skincare, poison come out of your skin. Pretend you are beautiful, cosmetics. Oral care, because you're smelling. The vitamins, the shampoo. Come on. Don't cover yourself up. All this kind of. As a result of all the foods, now you need this. You know how to arrange this with first with the produce, and then becomes worse and worse, and now you need these chemicals, the medicine, like all kind of chemicals, drugs. Very, and all these drugs, they are band-aids. They are not, see, they're not really healing. Band-aids, first aid. Oh, Colgate, Crest, Slide. When you use this, you destroy your entire digestive system with fluoride. And it says here that children below 6 years, they're not supposed to use it. It's dangerous to them. How about 6 years and 1 day? That's okay. So if it's bad for a child and it's good for an adult, right? This fluoride, you have to know more about it. Right? It's an aluminum product. And what aluminum does, it keeps you away from the bigger world, from the universe. Mentally, it suppresses you. Right? It's a mental oppression to keep you in the mental trap, as I show you, in the trap, in the mental loop. All of this, they have the same warning, right? But this is dangerous for children up to 6 years. But children from 6 years plus 1 day, it's okay. Come on, how stupid can you be to accept that? All of this toothpaste, all of them. Now Listerine, right? To suppress all this junk that you eat before, because you get that breath, of course, you start rotting inside. Right? This also is extremely dangerous. You know, you need your digestive system here with the beneficial bacteria, but with this you kill it. So consequently, you cannot change your food into blood, into the high blood quality. So this one, and before there were small bottles, right, including Odol, all kind of, now they become bigger and bigger and bigger because people use it more because they eat more junk. This one is illegal. Now, there was a time about 20 years ago, that was illegal. I mean, officially it was illegal to sell it, but somehow it came back on the market, and it's okay. Okay, it's a poison. This is Inquisition medicine. Inquisition to keep you sick, so you can know how to live with your disease. All of this skin lotion. Now I've been looking for this. I've been really looking for this. I was looking for a hand mirror. You know, the emperor before had a mirror with him always. It was a symbol, but also was a teaching tool. Okay? Because he had to look into himself and see, you know, his qualification. He was to look himself, but also look a mirror for the people. All is one. This is the truth. And so by knowing the oneness, acknowledge the oneness, you can see ourselves through now. Our enemy is our mirror. You destroy your enemy, you destroy your mirror. And where's that enemy? It's inside. So many veterans, probably most of them, okay? When they, after the war, they have destroyed the mirror, the enemy, then they have a problem. It's the last battle that they have to win is inside. So how can you know your enemy? You can do it only by restructuring the mirror, by restoring the cellular memory with the food to eat. Then you can unify the mirror and the observer, and possibly be the last mirror. So this mirror is a very important teaching. So I'm gonna buy this. I was looking. Pretend you're happy when you're blue. Makeup. First you make yourself ugly, and now you cover your ugliness up, and you pretend you're happy. Come on. Entertainment. The harder you can see really entertainment, it makes sense. Monsters. Look yourself into the mirror, the TV mirror. Monsters. Violence. Okay. Sex. Animal food, okay. Chemicals, you so-called clean, okay? You get the grease off, but what remains there is even more dirty than the dirt that you take off, okay? So don't fool yourself with all these chemicals. And these animals now, you give this food to the animals and they get the same problems as the humans. They have cancer, they have arthritis, they have diabetes, they have a heart attack, they are overweight. Same thing. And they experiment on animals in the laboratories, and the findings is that they apply this to the people. Well, your experiment is at home. Look at the animals, what happens when you give this food that the humans eat. All sickening. We apply it to ourselves, we apply it to the animals, and we reflect ourselves. And we think it's okay. All junk, all junk. The animals that we have 2 dogs. We gave them primarily grains, some foods we eat, with beans, even vegetables, and they're healthy. And they're trim, they're healthy, alert. There's no need to buy these kids. So now you have first the food that kind of relative to this, and it can worse and worse and worse. And then you get the medicine, and then you get the cleaners, and more cleaning. Because now you have to clean up your mess. You become a mess, completely a mess. So packaging, of course, you have more trash. The trash can become bigger. The trash bags becoming bigger because more trash, and the rest of the trash is inside in your body. The rest you throw out, and then you recycle the trash. Okay, like I said, plastic bags. And what happens with the plastic bags? We make clothes with them, and people wearing the trash, right? You become part of the waste cycle. This whole thing about recycling is a scam. To keep people into the trap of trash. Don't use trash. Then you don't have to recycle it. Kaboom! Mr. Clean. The house becomes more dirty. All these chemicals in home becomes more dirty. Even when it shines, but what you cannot see goes inside. So, instead of using a small piece of towel, now you need 5 times more because your shit has become sticky foot. But anyway, let's buy this anyway. The only thing probably is good in supermarkets, the best thing is toilet paper. Or lazy man's food, people don't want to cook, it's very easy, it's fast. Otherwise, that has what to do with food. More pleasure. More consumers. That's not what to do with normal food. It has nothing to do with health either, no matter what it's natural, it's pleasure, that's all, it's pleasure. But then after that you suffer. Okay, we are entering now the pre-morgue. You know, when you die, you know, they put you in the refrigerator. This is the preliminary, right, to the morgue. Okay, let's go to the morgue. It's very chilly. Frozen food. Food from the refrigerator. After you come home. And the refrigerators and all people's homes, they smell. They really smell. Like in the morgue. Huh?
Right there, someplace. Hold on.
Well, this is an open morgue. That was a closed one. It's an open one. Oh, that's another morgue because the overflow of dead bodies. That's gone really fast. Pizza, oh, ice cream, oh. More food. Cool down your system, cool your heart. All this, you know, especially cottage cheese and cheese for women with breast cancer. I've seen one time it was given to me. special container. What came out from the woman's breast after operation exactly looks like cheese, exactly soft cheese. So all this cheese for women, very dangerous. It's nice sometimes, but if you really look for the nutritional value, it's not. It's not. Just stomach filler. The flour had been oxidized. We're putting chemicals, a lot of chemicals, a lot of nonsense. Bread used to be only wheat or flour, salt and water. That's it. Look at the labels now. It's a whole big label. Stomach filling. That's a stomach filling. It's nothing to do with health, nothing to do with nutrition. Stomach filling. Consumerism. That's it. Or maybe this one here is a little bit better quality. A little bit better quality. Maybe some whole wheat. But again, the flour quality, see, is not great. If it's just what better quality and not with all the chemicals in there, preservatives, blah blah blah, it's a whole list, it would be alright. Consumerism, it's all about selling, but nothing to do with feeding the people. It's all stomach filling, it's all. Now this is pleasure. This is pleasure. It's optional. It's optional. It's not a daily drink, not a daily food.
What we can do is drop out some
Pizza. You know what happens when you have cheese and you put in the oven? It's sticky like this. You cannot digest it. And that sticky, that undigested food, that starts happening in your body all over. Especially for women. Now this is our pleasure. Pleasure. So you have to know, see, yourself, how far you want to go. But, okay, now you drink alcohol and you get drunk. And pizza, you get drunk because you drink alcohol. You know, but with food, you can get drunk too. But people don't notice it. It takes longer to get drunk. People are crazy. What drunkenness means, when you get drunk, because you bypass your center here and becomes momental, you get out of balance, you see? They call this drunk. But when you bypass this constantly with food, you also can get drunk. So many people, they say one wrong word, they get angry. And many people, without any reason, start killing other people. They're drunk. Because of food. See? Look at this. All these ingredients, chemicals, and this all air. There's no need for that. All you need is flour, sugar, and then salt and water. And you have sugar, chemicals, preservatives, artificial coloring, you name it. That is witchcraft, scientific witchcraft. What is witchcraft? Witch, you know, you're a witch, the craft of the witch. Okay? So, witch before was not bad. The witch, say, was sometimes mostly the women at the time because they control food. They know how to use food as a medicine. The witch was one who was the medicine woman. It was the doctor. She knew how to use the law of the creator in healing, changing the witch. And that was her craft. And later they made it bad. You're a witch. Okay? And they burned the witches. They were the medicine, they were the doctors. And they replaced this with the present medical system. The medical system is an outgrowth of the Inquisition. That's why the same symbol, the cross. And they are illegal, see, to cure any disease. When you go to the doctor, you get the worst hospital, you get the worst food, and they do the same torturing, amputating people, taking the organs out. It's a torture chamber. The hospital is a torture chamber. It's the Inquisition. So, this is a pleasure food, but the consequences are eggs, if it comes from naturally from chickens, and usually chickens will lay eggs primarily in summertime, springtime, but you have all year round eggs. And what an egg is, an egg, you know, this is like a womb. The chicken laying egg, see, it's to discharge where call it menstruation. And normally the chicken releases this blood, this so-called this menstruation, maybe once a day, once in season. And now chickens lay eggs, many eggs a day, because they force feed the chicken also with chemicals, and the chicken want to discharge these chemicals. And all these chemicals are in this egg. Okay? It's a discharge of menstruation. This is what it is. But then combined with chemicals. And the chicken sit in the coop there, cannot move, and the legs sometimes are so brittle, break, and continue laying eggs, right, for pleasure. But then the same thing happens with us. So women get also problems with this womb area here. And they take the womb out, the ovaries out, and more women today cannot conceive anymore. And they want to replace it with artificial womb. And then guess what? This artificial womb now, the half is artificial sperm, artificial insemination, artificial ovum, and you don't need a mother and father anymore. Called this the satanic race, artificial human biocomputer, and clone them in the image of a false God. This is what's going on. That's why the supermarket is here. All around the world, they have the same food, same consequences. This is not milk, this is white water. It's illegal today around the world to sell milk straight from the farm. It goes in big trucks, they take out all the goodies and they put this in containers. And I don't know if it's here in America, but in Europe, they can recycle this milk 5 times. Okay? And it's proven that when you give this milk to a calf, that calf will die in 1 to 2 weeks. So if the calf, the baby calf, cannot survive on this, how about the humans? And in this milk here, right, there's a small percentage of pus, rotten blood, pus in here. Who wants to drink this? It's only ignorant people, or people who don't care about this greatest gift with its creation in the human form. It's a gift, the greatest gift of the Creator. If you don't obey the law of the Creator and you don't respect His gift, what are we worth? Nothing. Coconut milk, let's say it's natural, but coconut in this kind of climate, especially when you refrigerate it, when it's in the body, becomes hard and also contributes to all kind of stagnations, including cancer, tumors, breast cancer, and so on. Whipped cream surely also contributes to all kind of body stagnations. Oh, it's whole wheat, 100%. Well, let's see all the chemicals that they put in there. All this nothing to do with food. Then of course we have the bread here. Okay, the bread by itself is not really tasty, and we have here. But you put on the bread more junk, more poisons. Cheese, breast cancer. Pressure. People are lazy to cook, they have salads, ready food, right? So what do you do the rest of the time? Watching TV, eating junk. Last step, still want to sell you something, especially the kids, big deals. So the last moment, you think, now I'm tired of my shopping, I want to go home, relax, watch TV, have a cookie, chewing gum with the children, blah blah blah, reading some trash, filling your mind also with poisons, sweethearts. You come home, hey sweetheart, I give something to you, right in your heart, have a happy Valentine, blah blah blah, and so on. So all is fake, and then you end up in a wheelchair there. So you have a privileges too, right? Because of all the junk, right? Look in your mirror, right? And make a choice. You want to have this, somebody hold a handle on your life, or you want to have yes, look into yourself. Know yourself. You came to this planet with a plan. And the plan is to make this earth a port of peace. And the only ones who can do it are the true humans. The humans are creation in the human form. And you have to know our value. You have the power to make the choice to be. But then we need to do this. This is the last revolution. It's not known under one name. Unido. From the Spanish one. Nido means nest, one world. One world. Unido is the last and total revolution. And it begins with ourselves, to root within ourselves, know our value, and make a choice, and that we have the power, we know that we have the power, and we can make a change. It begins with changing our food so that we can change our blood quality, and with blood we can change our entire being, and to realize that we have the power to be. Thank you. Okay, here we are again in Flagstaff at the San Francisco Bigs, and we have here no frontier, natural marketplace. And let's find out what the natural food store has in store. And not all the natural food stores are really 100% natural, and we explain inside, although there's the good foods, but also some foods are questionable. Well, yeah, it's kind of natural to have apples in this environment, also for winter time. This is not natural. So this is not natural. All this is organic. This is not natural. This is not organic. This is not natural. This is definitely not natural, right? In this kind of store. So you're not promoting health with this type of food. Same thing here. Right? Although this is organic, this is natural, but definitely not conducive to health. It's a very weakening food. It's a flower. It's not the weakest part of the plant. Okay? This is not recommended as a health food. Natural, organic, nothing to do with it. Same thing with all of this. This again, it's okay. Okay. This is organic, is natural, but when man eat this too much, this is called jicama, they can contribute to not only infertility but also loss of manhood, become cold, sexual impotence. Okay, looks like a testicle. Okay, be careful with this. Mushrooms are not in season. Although the dried mushrooms, like shiitake, you can have, it is prepared for winter time, but not the fresh ones. Definitely not this. This is used as a medicine. It can be externally or internally. It's okay. This is conducive to health. It's organic. It's natural. This is okay. This is not great for synchronizing or being with the seasons, the cucumber. Same thing with this, carrots are right. This one is a root, it's okay for winter time. Same thing with this. This is great, this is really great root, burdock, to really strengthen your blood, the intestines, although it's quite expensive. It shouldn't be when it's grown in abundance because it grows wild. Okay? Daikon is great. Many other roots here. Horseradish is fantastic. I mean, I'm glad to see this here. I want to buy it later on. This one here is great. Parsnips, other roots, tubers are great. Winter food, even not in winter, is also great. This is organic, it's natural, but not really ecological for our health. Same thing with all of this. This is great. Again, the carrots, kale is really good for the lungs. Very strong winter vegetable. Spinach, very acidic. Oxalic acid is not recommended too much, but definitely not in winter time. Same thing with this. It's definitely not right to have this in a natural food store at this time of the year. So as you can see, you have to be really discerning. All of this, except for onions. So here we have pumpkins, kabocha, the green pumpkin, the original pumpkin. All the other pumpkins actually this is great for the stomach. It's great for the pancreas. It's great in combination with the small black red beans and suki to cure diabetes. Okay. So this same thing with this is great, right? This acorn squash is also great. Now potatoes, questionable. Same thing with all kinds of potatoes, no matter what kind of potatoes. They're not really the food that you want to use in this type of climate as a staple. As a secondary food is fine, you can have it. but not as a main food. You cannot replace the grains with any kind of potatoes, right? Because this is not a staple food of humanity. They cannot, it's not conducive to the quality of blood because the blood becomes a body size. And each cell of a body correlates with the star. Okay? This you cannot do with potato. You need the grain primarily. Okay? So, and yes, different onions and so on. But again, we end up here with a lot of foods that are not in season. See? Actually, the people should be educated on this point. Now, here we come to the staple food of humanity. These are the grains. Right? So here, from here, up here, and here, these are all grains, different grains. Rice, buckwheat, quinoa, you name it, wheat, rice, and these grains can be refined by making flour, but again, when you have flour and you use flour products, they have to be used right away after the milling, otherwise they oxidize and you lose the nutritional value. Or you can make things like, this is more pleasure food, like crunchies and so on, granolas, pastas, and it's fine. But it's not to be used as a main food, it's pleasure food. Secondary. Then the secondary main foods, secondary, are the beans, the legumes. And that means lentils, garbanzos, peas, all of this. And more beans like here, you see here, including soybeans, small beans, and so on, more grains. But then here we have flour products, right? That means you can use its flours, but again, it's wise to use this right after grinding. It's definitely not wise to use flours that are older than maybe 10 days or 1 week, even 3 days, right? So then we have here, on the other side here, seeds and nuts. See, so seeds here, including sunflower seeds and sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, also real great, and it's best to toast it first, so that way it's easier to digest. And then we have nuts, same thing, best to toast it first. Don't eat it raw if you can help it. So, and not too much, this is a small amount. And then here you have mixture, and you can do many things with it, but it's pleasure food. Right? It's secondary, you can live without it. And you have here sweetness, raisins, squashes, and then you have crunchies here on the bottom. You know, that is real nice. You can, but again, don't snack too much because you have to concentrate on your main meals and you don't want to lose your appetite. Right? And of course, you have some herbs, spices, and you have to know how to use it. You can just indiscriminately use it just because it's natural. You have to know more about how to combine it, how to use it, for what to use it, and so on. So this section is great. And then you have here more about different seeds, which are great. So we have to make a distinction between essentials and secondary foods, mostly for pleasure. Like chocolate. But again, chocolate actually is not ecological, but it comes all from Costa Rica, from Central America. So that's again, you have to be discerning, and as long as there are no chemicals, as long as you know what you are doing, and you're discreet about eating it, so you know moderation. And here you have bread, but of course bread from what kind of flour? So old flour, fresh flour, and what have they put into it, because many bread also don't have a lot of additives, a whole list of that, and really 100% natural. Then juices, it all depends how you use it. And this is a sale. Oh, one of my favorite is apples cider. Okay, and I think I deserve it, because after that I'll be very hoarse, talking. I'm gonna use it. Thank you. Oh. Of course, a lot of pleasure food, a lot of instant food, because many people again don't know how to cook, they're lazy, and they have everything ready, right? Wheat, flour, how old is it? I don't know. Right? All kind of instant foods. So this again, sounds a great deal to consumerism. And of course, this store had to survive, they make money, because not much people are educated how to use foods from scratch. They don't know how to cook grains, beans, and so on. So, they continue some consumerism, but this time with less chemicals or no chemicals, but still it's consumerism. Consume. And what is consumerism? Consumerism means anti-change. Me, right? And you don't change into the subtle again, to decompose or to dematerialize from within. Because we only me, eat. It's like this again, right? Like me, right? Instead of being a creator, right? Able to change. But now we have to change this into this, okay? Change consumerism into being a creator. So here, puff grains is great, nothing wrong with that, but again, consumerism. All kind of ready drinks, ready foods is great, but still consumerism. Here we have pleasure foods, galore, juices, and so on. Then we have organic foods for bread, all kinds of sweeteners, right, to make your food palatable. But then you forget to create your own sweets through the decomposition, the press off, and so dematerializing inside. Hot stuff and so on. It's great, it's organic, but as far as health, doesn't mean much. But it's important. It's very important that we include all the kind of different tastes and so on. Well, anyway, you have here chlorine-free diapers, organic diapers, biological diapers, natural diapers, and so on. But women used to have this cotton, and they can wash the diapers, and it's much better, of course. But people become crazy. They are consumers. All kind of things. Baking paper, now we have organically created thing, but again, it's a beginning for raising consciousness, but it's not the answer. It's not the answer. Pleasure. Many pleasure. So these are pastas, good quality again. Hopefully that made with freshly ground flour. Many pastas, many. And then here we come to, okay, you know, people are afraid of wheat, and they use this gluten. You know, they think gluten gives you allergy. And what is an allergy? An allergy is a cold, like a you know, common cold. Is that allergy? You get the same symptoms. And why do you get a cold? They call it a cold because when it gets cold, the body constricts, and anything that is the excess that you get in summertime, like acidity, mucus, is pressed out, and you get a cold. Start sneezing, wheezing, diarrhea, whatever. Is that we call it allergy? Yeah, it is. But they fix this discomfort, see, to everything. So when you eat wheat is very strong by the gluten to constrict the body, and so the body rejects all this poison that you have accumulated, that you have refused to be to discharge voluntarily in a natural way because you take an aspirin, a vaccine, and so you can accumulate it. But then you eat a grain again, especially like wheat, and you say, no, get it out. It comes out. And you say, oh, it's allergy. It's a healing process. It's good, you see, but people want to get comfortable. And they comfortably die in a hospital, no matter whether it's organic or biological or natural, right? And you end up in an unnatural way, right? So don't believe this whole theory about gluten, about allergies, right? Wake up, right? Wake up. Then all kind of, people don't want to give up their tomato ketchups and so on. They don't have natural ketchup and natural this and natural that, organic this and organic that. But it is not natural for this climate, and not as a main food. But in here we have a small section for healing foods like all kind of sea vegetables. It is great, really great. Certain flavoring, but also not only flavoring, but also this is bread, not this one so much, not the liquid stuff, for the digestive process. Okay? And then we have here good quality soups, noodles, but again, I don't know how old the flour is that they made it from. Yeah, they have of course packaged grains and so on, but if you buy it in bulk, it's much cheaper and fresher too.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that's good.
A whole row of different ways of canning
Look at me, Mom. Look at my
tomatoes.
I'm on TV, Mom. I'm on TV.
Yeah,
Mom, I made it. I made it to the big times.
Okay, you are ready for ascension. Okay, so lazy mansion, consumers. So yeah, you have organic eggs, biologic eggs. It's optional. Then we have here more pleasure food. This is sometimes for travelers great, you know. It's but it's more expensive because how you pay for it? It's $3.99, $4. If you consider the amount of rice that goes in, it's maybe only not much rice. Maybe 10 pennies. And so you pay $4. No, people don't realize, you know, that when you buy potatoes, how much water is in there? It's about 90% water, right? It's so how much potato do you actually get? It's only a little bit. So when you like say, okay, just for the sake of calculation, you buy $1 for a pound of potatoes, and 90% is water. That means you buy $10 for the potato that you actually can eat, right? 10 times. And it goes for fruits, same thing with fruits. And it's because it's convenient, right? And they say for the taste, whatever. But same thing with all the chips. It's only that much grain. Right? You pay 10 times more. Right? If you say Who? Potatoes, $10 a pound. Nobody will buy it. But it's also only $1, but the rest is water. 90% is water. See? People get tricked into the superficial. They don't really understand what they are buying, what they are eating. Same thing with all of this. All of this. You pay a lot of money for a little bit. So how much corn is this? Only a little bit popcorn. The rest is air. You pay for air. Okay? Don't get full. Say pleasure don't last. Okay? Don't last. Food can last. If you change the food from within and you can remember, now that food becomes your feelings, your emotion, your thinking. So what are you doing with your thought patterns? Right? So you become greater, but you have to be able to assimilate this, change it, right? And have a dream. And what is your dream? Pleasure? Okay. Soon the taste is gone, your dream is over. So know who you are eating for. Ultimately, you eat for the Creator. And what the Creator wants to eat, that's his favorite food, is consciousness. So how conscious do you want to be? If you only want to be conscious about pleasure, it's gone in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Okay? So know how to eat. I call this the sacred art of eating. You have to know how to eat. Eating is a ceremony. It's most sacred. This is creation in the human form. And you have to know how to enter creation. This is the portal. Right? Okay, we're coming here to another morgue. This is an extra morgue here. This is a morgue. It's not as private. It's open. You don't have shields. It's still a morgue, yeah? And that's how you enter the morgue. See all this food here? It's organic. It's biological, natural. Okay, but be careful. Be careful. We made it. Oh, what? What a smell. Not more cheese. Restaurants. Proceed. Oh, now we come to the world a little bit better, but expensive. Okay. Mostly air. But that's good quality. Again, it holds the flour.
Oh yeah, they do have it.
This is for people who don't have time to cook, or who don't know how to cook, or how to lazy to cook. And it's very expensive. Same as in the supermarket. So after the food, you go into the pharmacy. Okay. Now you go into the vitamin section, all kind of medicine, pills. And you try them all one by one. One lifetime would be not enough. Okay? If you really want to find out the consequences, there's a lot. Look at this. That's expensive. Organic, natural. Expensive. Expensive. Wow. $50, $20. More medicine. Protein. See, people say protein is protein. You have simple protein and you have complex protein. They're not the same. Okay? But people are protein fixed. Complex protein comes from animals, simple protein comes from vegetables. But even among those animals and vegetables, the protein is not the same. We get soy protein, it's different than the protein from grains, from beans. They're not the same. See? But people, they become a sales pitch, protein, or vitamin C, or calcium and so on. They're not the same. Every food is a different quality. So especially soy protein, soy is a very decomposing, too much potassium, like I mentioned before. Our blood, our nervous system being the main components, the mineral components are sodium and potassium, so 1 to 5. And protein, like soy, it's like 1 sodium, maybe 102, 103, 104 potassium. All depends how they grow it. So it makes it completely all depends, maybe more emotions. But yeah, this is the catch word, protein.
That's different.
See, but it's not the same. Okay?
No, I just, when you said.
So a lot of protein, a lot of things weigh, protein, they're all different proteins, they're not the same. Protein energizer, or protein this, protein that, again, hemp protein, they are not the same. And you have to, rice protein, maybe this is the best quality, but they're not the same. And they don't tell the people. All kind of proteins, protein. Up here, there. See? It's just taking over the food, same as at the supermarket. Natural, it's all natural, it's not natural. It's not natural. And then you come to the book section, right? So, many diets, which one you want to follow, right? You cannot live long enough to try out all the diets. And here, the latest one, raw foods. Okay, let's talk more about it. Why do we need to use fire? Raw food they say fire destroys your food. Right? Because they build a science. You see, we are the only being among animals who are able to condense the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, the 4 directions, into the center, the 5th element. We can do it because we are creation in the human form. And creation functions by chains, also includes the 5 stages of transmutation. So, maybe this is an outgrowth of the Inquisition that made the people fearful for fire. They burned over 5 or 10 million actually women, boiled them alive, burned them alive in public, right? Maybe to instill a fear for fire of some sort. So, fire we need. There are 3 types of fire. The fire comes from heaven to earth, it's like the lightning, like the Big Bang, inorganic fire. And then comes the earth, you get the second fire, it's like a flame. And those 2 fires create the 3rd fire, it's the fire of the heart. Now these 3 fires are most profoundly integrated in the body in the form of an organ. Because metabolism, or the triple heater, is an organ. One of the 12 organs. So we include all of creation, including the 12 constellations. So this 12th organ, right, metabolism includes fire. But now you take fire out, you don't know how to use it in the first place, so you remain an animal. You cannot unify the 4 elements, the 4 directions into the center. So that's a primitive being. Before we became human, we are all eating raw foods. Like animals. And what happens is, when you eat raw foods, you cannot fully distill the memory, or because you couldn't go deep enough into the nucleus of the food to take out the memory. So now, the whole scenario of the anti-creation is to go against ascension. So what is raw food mean? It means water. Water is the element for the descension, and that's why we are born in water here in Mother's womb. We come from ocean life, that is again distilled in the womb, right, where we begin from the primitive animal And we enter land life because of fire. Water brings the energy, the spirit, from heaven to earth. And so as long as our body has the water, like 80%, the spirit can have the earth experience. But then comes a time that the spirit has to go back to the source, and you need fire. And that's why when the body decomposes, it releases the water, but you need, in this process of earth experience, you need to prepare yourself for the ascension. And that's why the human is the only animal that is given by the Creator is fire. They have to use it. But fire became oppressed. It was taken over by Roma, the Inquisition. And the Inquisition targeted the women. Why? Because she was the firekeeper. She controlled fire, she controlled the kitchen, she controlled the food, she controlled the blood quality. And by the blood, we're able to manifest in our womb, to function, to feel, to have emotion, to think, to act, to create, and to identify ourselves as who we are, and finally can say, I am. This is anti-I am. Raw spells war, inner war. Okay? And you may feel good, and so does the cow. The cow feels very good with rubber, but we are human, and we have to use fire. So we have the water connecting heaven to earth, and we need the fire to connect earth to heaven. This is part of the Inquisition. Okay, so if you want to be a cow, please eat raw food. So many diets, some have good information, some have lesser. It's confusing. Right? Some have their blood group diet, vegetarian diet, lacto-vegetarian diet, and so on and so on. Many diets. Pritikin diet, Atkin diet, you name it. And now we have raw food diet. So that's the end of our medical system. Very complex. Well, the first food, the first medicine, that is the food straight from the cradle, but then you have to know how to prepare it, and you need to use fire. So coming back to the staple food of humanity here, relatively a small section compared with the pharmaceutical companies' foods, right? All the natural, organic, all the pleasure foods, a very small section. And not many people know how to prepare, to cook these foods, right? Same thing with the vegetables. So eat it raw, but that's not the answer. We are now coming to the stage, right, of the completion of the cycle of consciousness. We have to know how to make that step back to the source from within, how to change the world from within, how to use the law of the Creator, change. And it begins with restoring the memory and basically all zero gray. That's a staple event. Okay? Now, what have you learned here in this very large, the biggest one here, probably in Arizona, natural food store? You have to be discerning. And some people, it's great. They have here the transition foods, ready foods. At least they don't eat the junk anymore. It's very expensive. But the recommendation is follow the right teaching, cooking class. I'm not talking about diet, but the principle, how to change your food into your blood quality. Now, the best approach is, if you don't know anything else, there's one so-called diet. Actually, it's not a diet. Using the law of the Creator, change, is known as macro, big, not micro, small, but macro, big, biotics, right? The great way of life, how to change. But if you want to go to no more than that, much bigger, the total picture, then maybe you can investigate about the sacred art of eating. It's macrobiotics, but in much complete sense, bigger sense. Right? the sacred art of eating. So you can visit website, shake the anthill, you know, the ants, little creatures, like a hill. Shake the anthill, that means shake the world, wake them up, shaketheanthill.net, okay? www.shaketheanthill.net, okay? I'm Roy Littleson, I'm just a messenger, but important is the message. Aho, Anido.